This is a nice little loop hike out of the Granite Basin recreational area. We're going to start at Granite Basin Lake right here, and we're going to go down this trail which goes down the canyon, Trail 345, called the Mint Wash Trail. And then we're going to take this little connector trail, 352, Mint Wash Connector Trail, up the hill a little bit over the ridge, and then we'll connect with 348, which is called the Chimbley Water Trail. Drop down the hill on him about a quarter of a mile until we hit 351, going back toward the lake, which is the West Lake Trail. And then 351 actually cuts off right here, but we're going to continue on, and we'll be back on 345, back to the lake. So this is a nice hike. Maybe I would call it moderate, because there is some uphill. It's about 3 miles altogether. Going down the Mint Wash Trail, about 3/4 of a mile. Connector Trail is 1.25 miles up to 348. Another 1/4 mile down to the West Lake Trail 351. And then maybe a 1/2 mile to where we get back on 345. Another 1/4 mile back to the lake. So altogether about 3 miles. A little bit of elevation gain. Just a wonderful hike though. Very scenic hike. The trail we're going to be taking today leaves out of the east end of the parking lot, just to the right of the restroom here. And we're going to go down this canyon. This is Trail 345. We're going to take it down the canyon and then cut over up to the ridge and back. This trail we could take quite a long ways out to make what I call the long loop. Today we're going to do the short loop. We start off by going past the dam here. This is an old dam. I think it was finished in like 1923. So this thing's been around for a while. Now we're down the trail a little ways, starting to get down into the canyon. You can see the canyon walls rise above us on both sides, and here's the wash down here. Mint Wash, little creek running down through. Just a really picturesque area. Things open up here a little bit. You get a real nice view of the canyon that we're going down, and also Granite Mountain up here above us. Pretty impressive. Just a real nice little loop hike we're doing today. Right from here, we get a beautiful view of San Francisco peaks out at the end of the canyon up toward Flagstaff. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I know this doesn't zoom real well, but let's see if we can get a closer look at the peaks. Very nice. Now we're a little bit lower in the canyon, and you can see Granite Mountain up here to our left. Quite a dramatic sight. This is where the Mint Wash Trail 345 intersects with the Connector Trail, Mint Wash Connector Trail 352. That's the one we're going to take, and you can see that we're going to switch back up over the hill here for 1.25 miles till we reach the Chimbley Water Trail 348, and we'll take that back down and then back up to the lake. So this is the Mint Wash Connector Trail 352. We'll be on that for 1.25 miles. If we stayed on 345, we could go down quite a ways before we reach the Willow Trail and make a loop back. That'd make a much longer loop out of it. As you can see here, we've come from Granite Basin Lake 3/4 of a mile, and the junction, if we continue it on 345 to the Willow Trail 347, is another 1.5 miles. Another 1.5 miles down this way. That makes a little bit longer loop out of it. Now we're on our way, switchbacking up the hill. Pretty steady pull for 1.25 miles. Anyhow, we're heading up this way. This is where we've come from, down in the valley there. And haven't come too far just yet, but this is a good place to kind of just take your time, take a lot of breaks and shoot pictures. Good excuse for stopping. And eventually you get to the top. Now, there are some level places along this section of trail. Not many, but here's one. And you can see we've come up a little ways now, looking back towards the valley. Here's the trail that we came up. We might be a third of the way up now, and you can see a pretty dramatic view of Granite Mountain across the valley. Just a real nice day for a hike. A little bit cool, which helps a lot. Okay, we have arrived at 348, the Chimbley Water Trail. We're going to go to the right here and down about a quarter of a mile to 351, and then we'll head right down there, which will be heading back up north, up to the lake. One other thing, I don't mean to imply that this Chimbley Water Trail is right on the ridge. You know, like you come up the connector trail to the top and there it is. Not really. We come up over the ridge and then we come down some before we reach the Chimbley Water Trail. Maybe even a quarter mile down. So we got a little downhill before you reach this. So once you get up to the top of the ridge on the connector trail, don't expect 348 to be right there. It's not. You got to come down a little ways before you run into this trail. This little section of 348 is a very nice hike. It's just a quarter mile down the hill, but it's just, we get back down into the tall pines and it's really nice. And then heading up 351 also is a nice stretch, getting back up to the lake. Now we're down to the junction of 351. We're going to head to the right here and head back up to Granite Basin Lake. We're almost back to the lake now. 350 cuts off right here to the left, but we're going to stay on 351. We're even closer to the lake now. 351 actually cuts off to the left here, but we're going to go up on 345 to finish up to the parking lot. That's really the trail that we started on. And now we're back to the lake. We're just going to go down here a little ways, bear to the left, and we'll come right back out where we started, past the restroom, back to the parking lot. Great hike.